So, folks, welcome back to the archived podcast and YouTube channel. This is all about golf changing. My name is Adam. With me, Jimmy Bunkers, dialing in from the lovely Shepparton in Victoria, Australia. Jimmy, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
I'm good. It's been a little while since we've had a chat, and following you on your Insta, your YouTube game is elite, if I can say that, and I'm looking forward to digging into that. I do see a bit of golf being played, but first question, of course, is always, how is your golf going?
Well, it looks like I'm playing a lot of golf, but a lot of that's from my archives. So I haven't played a hell of a lot in the last 3 months.
Is it?
So
it's
it's a bit of B-roll. I haven't played a lot in the last few months. I've been quite busy filming and editing a lot of things, but currently it's not good. I did have 35 points last weekend, which is the first time I've had close to 36 points in 12 months. So I've got a bit of work to do.
Well, 35 ain't too bad. I played Peninsula Kingswood last Monday, and I just mustered up 30, and of that 30, 22 were on the back nine. So
you came home strong.
Yeah, I know, but I've got some work to do. So, Jimmy, archived is about golf changing, and I think one of the serious markers in this evolution of golf has been the introduction of YouTube and YouTube golfers and that entire world. And you and I have had many conversations about this in the past, and you did very well last year, putting me on the straight and narrow with respect to dedicating some time to watch some YouTube golf. So that part of the golf world isn't getting any smaller, or it's not slowing down. If anything, it continues to grow. So I'm looking forward to digging into that. Let's talk about your golf journey. I think I first really connected with you, not in a physical way and not online, but spiritually. I remember when I first saw your Instagram bio, I thought, oh my God, there are guys like me out there. So I kind of connected with you, and I forget what your bio is. It's a quirky kind of, what is it?
It's changed a bit since then, but it's I've sort of gone through a few evolutions of what my Instagram and YouTube side of things look like. But
yeah. But you're openly sort of sharing the fact that you're not a scratch handicapper. Indeed, you're sort of working down. So I've never asked you, when did you get into golf, and why did you get into golf back in the day, and how far back is back in the day?
Oh, well, back in the day, it was like the very first time I was on a golf course, I was 5, and it was with my dad and a heap of his mates, and I just came along to watch them play golf. And Dad teed off, hit the ball down there. It was pretty good. I'm just like running ahead to try and catch up to find Dad's ball. I pick it up and I run it all the way back to Dad and be like, Dad, I got your ball. Like, I had it in my hand. He's like, no,
you
mate,
innocent
no.
thing, you innocent thing.
I had no idea. And he goes, no, mate, you're supposed to like leave it there and then you hit it again. I went, oh, okay. So I ran about 20 meters further in front of where he had his ball and then threw it. So I gave him a bit of extra distance. That was my first time at a golf course, but I didn't actually hit a golf ball until I was closer to like 8 or 9. Went out with Dad again. We used to holiday up. We were down Melbourne way at the time. We used to holiday up at Yarrawonga, and Dad and I used to go and just have a round every now and then. It was probably once or twice a year at that point. We'd go and hit, and I really look forward to that, and really enjoyed playing it. But I never really did anything serious for quite a while. So for the first, I don't know, 23 years of my life or something like that was like maybe playing golf once or twice a year, if that.
Yeah, right.
And it wasn't until like 5 years ago or 4 or 5 years ago that I decided that I'm stopping playing footy, like Aussie rules down here, and I'm stopping playing basketball because I kept getting injured, and I still wanted to do something active. So I decided to, sort of take golf more seriously. And like everyone else who just starts golf, it like bites you straight away, and then it's all you can think about for the first like 6 or 7 months of your journey, and then you just want to try and get all the new gear and get better and do everything, and it kind of hasn't stopped.
And so, Jimmy, are we talking COVID times? You were kind of like one of those COVID golfers that
A little
emerged,
bit, yeah.
or
I was, yeah. So I've lived in this estate, which is only like par 5 away from the Shepparton Golf Club for like 11 years. And
Right.
over that time, up until like 5 years ago, which was after COVID, I got sick of the stop and start of basketball and not being able to like go back because we weren't able to with restrictions and things like that. But I still wanted to do something, and the golf club was open. So I went out there and just started playing a little bit, got fitted for some irons, and because I'm quite tall, as you know, so I needed to have like extra 2 inches on my shafts, and just started practicing and playing.
Yeah. Just on the height thing, it is handy trying to spot you in a crowd, like at the Australian Open, like the Australian Open last December. So, okay, so seems to be a similar story somewhat to a number of the people that I interview here. COVID, or around about that time, was when the bug bit many people. Pardon the pun. So let's now sort of creep into YouTube. So, you're playing more. You're at Shepparton. You're loving it. When does YouTube golf become a thing in terms of you watching it?
Well, as soon as I decided that I wanted to start playing it again, I jumped on, started looking at like, okay, how do I do this? What do I do there? What's the best for this? And
for tutorials,
Googling for tutorials and stuff like that.
For learning, right? Okay.
Yeah, and then naturally the algorithm just starts feeding you like, oh, hang on, if you like this tutorial, you might like this other video that this person does, and it's a course vlog of them playing golf somewhere.
And you fell for it, and you were
I thought, oh, that's sick, but from like my side of things, like I started filming myself play golf like quite early on, but I never really shared any of that footage online. Right. It was just I had the idea of like doing an Instagram or doing a YouTube channel and try. Like I originally thought that, hey, if I document like hey, I'm a fresh golfer and I'm going to get better, and let's like document how I get better and things like that, that might be something that someone might watch. So I just have a bit of footage on my phone, and it's probably deep in my hard drives now, of when I first started playing golf and had an absolutely awful swing. I mean, my swing's still awful, but it was like much worse. And with the intention of turning it into something.
Okay, so the intention to record and share was there from day one in some way.
Yeah. I've always had this thing about I've always liked creating and being on camera and doing videos and things like that. So in my professional career, I've been selling cars since I was 16, been in the car industry, doing new cars from like 2013, 14, 15. If someone sent a new inquiry in for a car, I'd do a video showing them the car and then sending it to them back then, which is now like almost common practice now, but I was sort of doing it back then, being in front of a camera presenting, and I sort of enjoyed that. And then I went through a bit of a thing where I thought, oh, maybe I want to start a car YouTube channel, and maybe I want to start this, or maybe I want to work on that. And it's always been in the back of my mind about doing a YouTube channel. I just never did anything for so long. And then early COVID, like probably a little bit earlier than that, probably it might have been like late 2018 or into 2019. I was playing video games with mates, and I ended up streaming on Twitch. So I was live streaming the gaming that I was playing and talking to people in chat who was watching and things like that. So I've always had this like presenter, want to be like an urge to be a person who connects with people online just behind a camera and things like that. So it's one of the reasons why I started that. And then it's obviously evolved into something a little bit more than what I sort of expected it to. It's always just been a bit of fun. And now it's turned into something where people are reaching out to me to help them with their content. And it's sort of, and that part of it's taking away from my own stuff at the moment. It's quite a crazy little bit of a journey.
And we'll dive deeper into that. So, okay, so a natural in front of the camera, wanting to take advantage of that. Share with me when, and my YouTube golf exposure is, it's only been like the last year or two, right? So where was YouTube golf with kind of, those global,
Yep.
influencers, good and Brian Bros and, that kind of pedigree. When were those guys entering the YouTube world, and were you there from the beginning, or you stumbled upon them later on?
Yeah,
As
so
a
I started stumbling across it. Like, so Rick Shields is the obvious one. I think everyone who gets
right,
into YouTube and starts looking at it, and except you, I gave you some very good examples of what to watch straight away.
you
But
did.
everyone who hasn't, and they just search something, Rick Shields will pop up. So
Okay,
he's been named, he's like the godfather of YouTube golf because he's been
yeah,
doing it for a long time and originally started out as doing lessons and tips and tricks. So in that time when I was starting, he was not only doing that, but he was also filming cool courses and challenges with certain people and things like that. So he was probably the first YouTube channel that most people tend to watch. And then you realize, holy crap, like he's got this many subscribers, he's getting tons of views. People will actually watch people play golf. And that was the part that sort of half clicked to me, is like people are actually watching this. Maybe I could make something that people will also watch. I know I'm not as good as him. I'm nowhere near as good as him. So that was probably a light bulbish moment. And that was sort of around that 2021 thereabouts, which is also roughly around the same time when Good was starting to ramp up. And they were doing something totally different to what Rick was.
yeah.
So around that time when I was watching, Rick was still working or just doing a lot of his videos at Marion Park in Manchester, which is like his almost like his home course, and was playing that course lots, playing with Matt Fryer, Peter Finch, who are guys who are still pretty big names now, and just doing all sorts of different videos with them. And it was sort of like those three amigos and not much else out there, because there wasn't as many big high production YouTube channels with golf. There was quite a few people just putting on their phones and just doing whatever. Good enters. They had already, a few of their members have already created videos for quite a long time, especially Garrett. GM Golf, he's had that for quite a while, and I actually saw his page first and then led me on to Good, but they would have had 200,000 subscribers at the time, which is still pretty big. But a lot of that was in America, and they were doing real random challenges. Like there's 3-on-3 battles, like three people playing golf against three people, and then they had really crazy rules where like they'd spin a wheel and the wheel would actually choose which club they have to hit for the next shot. And they were doing really weird stuff that no one else has seen on YouTube. And I think during COVID, that was just refreshing to see something that was different. So a lot of people would find Good and go back and watch their back catalog, because all their videos are different. It's not, I played this course in summer and I played the same course in winter and I played it in spring and I played with someone else. They were doing lots of different things that no one else had seen before. And they started to really take off. And I think Rick Shields kind of paved the way for people to make YouTube content. Good really just like took that and ran with it. And probably more people are probably YouTubers because of Good than Rick Shields, because the content was fresh.
So
yeah.
Okay. So Jimmy, let me pause for a moment. There's people out there that play golf, watch golf, as in tournament golf. Clearly, people are watching YouTube golf. Okay, there's no doubt about that. The data's all there. Then there's people that play golf, watch YouTube golf, don't watch tournament golf. You got people that watch tournament golf, play a bit of golf, despise YouTube golf, and we've seen over the last couple of years, the random pro or two coming out going, oh, that's just rubbish golf, or that really dismissing it and stuff like that. So that there's some really interesting dynamics, and I had an interview with Pat from Concrete Links Co, one of my brand partners, a little while ago, and we went deep into simulator golf. People gathering in simulators and socializing, and I've met a couple of people new to golf who have rarely been out on a golf course, but will go to the range every week. We'll go to a sim kind of once a month. So we've got a really interesting spread of how people consume and experience golf. My question to you, and then I wanted to sort of get your reaction to what I just said. But my question to you to sort of kick it off is, do you watch? Which do you watch more of, YouTube golf or tournament golf, professional tournament golf? Let's start there.
Yeah, definitely YouTube golf. It's every morning I get up, we have a routine. I just sort of get up, make coffee, do whatever. But I always have an hour or so where I can just chill. And that hour or so, I'm usually watching some form of YouTube golf. Yeah. Whether it's the latest course that Ron Chopper's played, or whether or not it's a preview from Golf Digest of the next major championship and what that course is like, or because this YouTube golf, it's probably going ahead a fair bit now, but YouTube golf has just expanded so much more, and it's not just people just playing this course, and it's not just people doing weird challenges, and it's not just highlights of old golf events and things like that. There's so much more out there, and so many more creators that are actually doing so many different things that are still golf related. And there's quite a few creators that are out there that are doing YouTube golf, but their whole thing is about the lifestyle, things that you're interested in, the clothing and the fashion, and they don't play any golf or hit any golf shots, but it's still a YouTube golf channel. So there's just so much to watch, which is probably why I watch more YouTube golf than I do actual tournament golf.
Yeah, I must say that the couple of weeks leading up to the US Open that was just on the weekend, I wanted to get a bit of a sense of Shinnecock as a course, and I was quite blown away when I went into YouTube and just sort of searched Shinnecock and sort of course overview and things like that. I had everything from hole by hole flyovers. I had architectural postmortems. I had summaries of the last three opens that were played there. It was mental. There was almost too much. My next question to you is what's your favorite YouTube golf to watch and why?
It's changing. It changes all the time,
right?
And it's probably why my content's changed as well, because what I enjoy watching has changed. I used to really like the challenge style of good stuff, but I haven't watched a good video for 3 years. It's sort of
right.
So there's that one. I really like. I still really like watching golf vlogs, like what say Ron Chopper and Golf and Joel and 4to4 Golf, like those guys, which are all three of those are Australian as well. So like watching that stuff. I really enjoy the travel experience side of YouTube golf too. So Aussie Beef has been doing a fair bit of that recently, where he's been just going to these really cool locations, and he's actually, the video is more about the journey of getting there and the story of a town and the course and the things like that. So and then there's a guy in America called Josh Mayer, and he does things where he doesn't really play a lot of golf on his channel, but it's a golf channel. Like he might have a video that's example, like I played, his most recent video is I played every level of mini golf course. So he went from standard, just a mini golf course, little hack that's sort of got the fake greens that's sort of been out there for a long time.
Yeah.
All the way up to the number one rated golf course in a mini golf course in America. And it's just little levels like that, which are really fun too, because they're refreshing to see something different and a different person's perspective.
Yeah.
So I don't, what my favorite style of golf is changes over time, and the YouTube algorithm's so smart that it'll obviously just throw something out at me that it thinks that I will enjoy. And most of the time I'll just click on that video because it's just like being recommended to me and I do enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, let's talk about you creating YouTube content. So you were filming things early on the mobile phone. You've got everything going now. You've got drones going overhead and all sorts of things. So I remember when we last sort of hung out, Jimmy. You were deep in your what was the series that you did?
But it's 75 hard last year, 18 months ago.
You did 75. Okay, talk to us about that and what from a YouTube content perspective, audience engagement perspective, and any other elements.
Yep.
Talk us through what you did and what you learnt from that, because that was pretty taxing, wasn't it? That was a pretty big lift that you. Yeah.
Never again. That was nuts.
Yeah.
So 18 months ago, I had been so close to breaking 90 for the first time, and I still haven't broken 90, spoiler alert, that my best score, I had rounds of 92 and 93 back to back.
Yeah.
And I thought I need to just like get over that barrier. I just need to get that little bit better. And I thought the best way to do it was to do a 75 hard, but for golf. And most people have probably heard of 75 hard, where it's like, you got to read this much of a book, you got to run this much, you got to do exercise inside, you got to do all of this, have a strict diet and no alcohol and all that. Like I scrapped most of that, but I put in some core principles just for golf. So I had to practice every day. I had to work on my stretching parts of my body because I've got a very tight back, so sort of do that sort of stuff. And the practice was all practice with purpose. I had to focus on one certain aspect of my golf game every day. And I did that back to back to back for 75 days. The hard part about it is that I decided to film, edit, and upload everything every day. So I did 75 videos in a row of me practicing to get better and eventually break 90. And the taxing side of that was the filming, editing, uploading. And especially when daylight savings ended, I'd be getting up really, really early. I'd be going to practice just as like this first light. I'd film that practice. I'd get back. I'd have breakfast. I'd have a shower. I'd go to work. I'd come back from work. I'd spend time with my wife. I'd have dinner. Then I'd just be like locked into the laptop and editing that for short form and long form and doing a thumbnail and then uploading everything before going to bed and doing it all again. And that's the part that really took it out of me, was the actual.
Yeah, wow.
But when you mentioned about the engagement side of things, through that time, I had so many people and members of the Shepparton Golf Club, because that's where I filmed everything and I did everything, and just people that I know that started seeing it and started following along and then started talking to me and be like, "You're going to break 90 this weekend, Jimmy? Like, how are you going? How's the game going?" And I really did get a bit of a community out of it. And I know they're sort of already my community because they're here at my golf club. But I've met so many people who I didn't know actually watched YouTube Golf or watched Instagram or actually like paid attention to anything that I was doing at the course. And it was great. And I've made some pretty good friends out of it. The big YouTube lesson there is that you think that if you're posting every day for 75 days, you're going to like steamroll and eventually like get heaps of views. And then maybe like I was pretty naive at the start of it. I thought if I did that and had a lot of people that were really, really interested, my final video might be like a 10,000 view video or something like that.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
10,000 view video on like short form isn't much, but on YouTube, it's pretty big.
Right.
In the end, it got to 1,500. So it's kind of,
right.
It was a mountain of work. I did go from like 200 subs to 450 subs in that time. So I sort of doubled how many subscribers I had on the channel, but it definitely, I definitely didn't get the payoff. I didn't break 90. I really hurt my back a lot and felt the effects of that for like 6 months afterwards, even though I was like still stretching and doing a lot of things. My editing skills got better, which is a good thing. I didn't get the real growth of like 1,000 subscribers and whatever it needs to be to get monetized on YouTube. And yeah, in the end of it, like I hadn't spent a lot of time with my wife at all for those couple of months. So it was not worth it in the slightest, but I did learn a fair bit.
That's good, and clearly your YouTube skills and approach and the work you're doing now is at a is at a level that is far beyond where you were 12 months ago from my perspective. So
Yep.
Seems like you've gone all in on some pretty solid gear and kit and tech. I've been watching those Instagram. What's your Instagram handle, Jimmy?
Yep, it's just Jimmy Bunkers Golf. It's Jimmy Bunkers Golf everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. That's nice and simple.
You heard it here first, folks. So Jimmy Bunkers Golf. So I've been watching sort of those those Instagram posts where you've sort of got horizontal. You've got drones,
drone
you've
footage.
got So you got some. It looks really cool, right? It looks really cool, and you really caught my eye when you did that stuff down at Barnbougle. I've got a soft spot for the boog, and it looked like the weather was great, and the course came up a treat. So the combination of of pedestrian level footage combined with the drone just looked delicious, right? So you've taken it to the next level. Talk me through how you got there, what you're doing, and what's next.
Yeah, of course. So the how I got there part is I'll just take 2 steps back to go one big step forward. When I had the idea to start filming my golf and start getting better, I thought that people would want to watch a crap golfer like me play golf. They'd want to watch a mid-20s handicapper because
that's what attracted
I'm relatable.
Me. That's right. Yep,
relatable. So I hit it just like them. I hit slices, I chunk it, I thin it and all that sort of stuff. But then I realized that, a lot of my early videos were just course vlogs of a high handicapper playing these different courses and going through. And there was some comments of it was refreshing seeing someone like that and whatever, but people would watch that for 4 or 5 holes and then they just feel sorry for you. Like, it's very hard to watch someone who's struggling, and if they chunk one or they slice one and then they punch out the trees, and then you take 5 or 6 shots before you hit another good shot again, you actually feel bad for that person, and you kind of just stop watching because it doesn't actually give you any entertainment or any joy, which is what everyone watches YouTube for. Anyone who's looking at any bit of content just wants that light little bit of reprieve. They want to feel good about themselves, have a little bit of joy from whatever it is, whether it's a 15-second clip of some drone footage at Barnbougle on Instagram, or whether or not you've got 10 minutes or 20 minutes to watch a YouTube video. You want to actually feel something, and you don't want it to be pity. That's for sure. So I realized that people just didn't want to watch that. So then I evolved into trying to take on some of my mates. So it was like a 24 handicap golfer versus 22. We're playing stable for 9 holes, a bit of a challenge, a bit of banter between someone else, and see how we go. And then they came up pretty well, and it was really good having my mates on the channel too and doing a few things. But then I realized that people still don't want to watch that. It's just a retention graph after the first few holes just dropped off. So now what I've done, and it's where I've got the drone, I'm going to different locations. I've actually completely changed what I want to do again. And it's not so much about me, the golfer, and how I play. I'm now focusing on the course I play. And showcasing the course and giving people FOMO and wanting to go and play that course. The video I did at Axedale, I got some really, really cool drone shots out there. It's absolute... I'm going to say it because it's what the whole thing is, but it's an absolute hidden gem. It's just, it's a course that some people hear about, and then the people that actually go there and play actually know and realize this course is actually something else. Is
this in Victoria? Where is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just south of Bendigo. So it's about 20 minutes south of Bendigo in Victoria.
Okay.
It's just, it's the course itself was laid out by members. The members chose the routing, they chose where the holes go, and it dances over a creek. And there's a lot of undulation changes. It's in between some trees. It's actually just insane for a golf course. And the design itself, to be designed by members, is just mind-blowing. So I've then, the reason why I've leveled up and done and bought more gear and changed the way that I film things is now I'm sort of trying to get better at cinematography. I'm trying to get better at the videography side of it, like actually, the proper decent like shots to make the course look great, not necessarily make me look great. I'm just there and I'm telling the story about the golf course, and I just get to travel now to these really cool places like Axedale, Gerringong, just south of Sydney. I just went to Jubilee Golf Course just outside of Wangaratta. Like these are courses that aren't big household names, that don't really have a lot of footage online, especially not even on their socials or on YouTube or anything like that, that some people don't even know about. And just changing the way that I tell that story is now probably my main focus with YouTube, and it's changed a lot since I first started.
Yeah, that's super cool, and I love that that kind of hidden gem concept. I mean, there's so many golf courses out there. There is so much golf to play, and you're right. Kind of, a lot of the big ones drown out the majority of sort of those other ones. So I think that's super cool, Jimmy. I can't help but think that the whole, there's only a certain amount of hours in the day, right? So now you're on the road, right? You're sort of doing a bit of travel for sort of, for YouTube golf. And I imagine now with sort of drone footage, your editing isn't necessarily getting any easier. Can you let's just stick on editing for a moment, because I've been there opening up your stories, and your post saying 4 hours later and I'm still in front of the screen kind of thing. So is the editing is editing generally and tools and platforms, is any of that getting easier? Because I just hear from everyone that does this that editing is the drag.
It is, yeah. Editing takes a long time. I think there's a general rule that, I don't know, maybe it's not a general rule for golf itself, but it's a general rule for most things, that it's like a 4-to-1 ratio. Like if you want to make a 10-minute video, it's going to take you 4 times as long to actually like edit that video. And I think like what I do, it actually takes a lot longer than that, because I've got so much extra footage to go over. From one shoot, I could have 3 different cameras. So I could have a GoPro with me driving around in a golf cart while I'm talking about something. I could have just my DJI Osmo sitting on a tripod in front of me while I'm getting another camera behind me. So I'm getting 2 different angles of the same shot while I'm hitting into something that's really cool. And I could have the drone footage there. So to be able to go through all that together, make sure the colors line up, then just grab the best bits out of it to put into a video, and then do a voiceover when I'm not talking to the camera, it does take some time. So it's the editing side of things is taking a lot longer than what it did. I'm no longer being able to like film something, edit it and upload it the next day. It's multiple nights in a row where I'm sort of just fiddling with it before I'm happy. And sometimes even just doing like a 35-second reel for Instagram, that could still take me 3 or 4 hours to do. Just by the time I sort of get everything sorted and go through, and it's 3 or 4 hours from when I like open my laptop, because by the time I like download the footage, go through some of the footage, see what I really like, put it into another folder, be like, this is probably like the best of that hole, and this is the best of that hole, and this is a really cool drone shot, putting the best of the overall YouTube video into the reel. It does take time, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
Okay, that's good to hear that, because as you were describing just in the lead up to that, the cameras, the cart, the GoPro, the DJI, I'm kind of like going, does the love of golf get lost in all of those tasks? But you are enjoying it, clearly.
Absolutely, yeah. The actual like the level of golf that I play isn't great. Like I hit bad shots all the time while I'm filming. When I was doing like full actual course vlogs where I was playing everything and counting my score and all that sort of stuff, I had a very firm, like, there's no redo shots on my channel sort of rule.
Yeah, right.
So when I'd go out there and if I shot 55, I actually shot 55 for those 9 holes. Like I actually did. Like every bad shot I hit. Now it's because now it's more about the course and the way it looks. if I hit an absolute stinker, I still filmed it, but like I might pull a pocket ball out and give it another go, because I've got so many things going through my head while I'm out there filming, because I'm like, this angle looks really cool from my eyes. How do I capture that on camera? And then while I'm standing there over the ball, I'm thinking, have I actually got that camera in the right place? Am I taking too much of the frame? Do I need to move the camera? And then when I swing and hit the ball, it doesn't go well. Sometimes I do just pull another one out and have another crack. But that's because it's no longer about how I play. I'm just trying to show how good these courses are. And the courses that I'm traveling to often only have like one or two paid staff members and a lot of volunteers. And like, I feel like I'm really like, it's my job to show how proud that they are of this course that they spend so much of their time on, that I want to make sure I do it justice. And I understand that not everyone wants to see a shank or a slice or anything like that. So I do need to redo a few of those every now and then, which I think when you're doing it on a competition day, you're frustrated that you just hit a bad shot like that. But for me, I'm just frustrated that I got to spend more time to redo it. But it definitely doesn't take the love of the game out of it at all, because I know what I'm doing and I know I'm sharing a story for these people, and that in the end, like the product that I put together, the members of that course are going to be proud of it and happy with it.
Jimmy, just over the last, sort of, 12, 18, 24 months, your golf, your relationship with golf has, and YouTube golf and YouTube golf has evolved. It's changed. You're observing what's going on out there in the world when it comes to professional golf, and closer to home, I suppose, how golf is just exploding, the level of interest in it. Younger people are coming into golf. Golf brands are popping up all over the place. YouTubers are popping up all over the place. There's just a lot of, golf is just awesome at the moment. There's so much going on. I just kind of sort of want to strip everything back to probably the root of the question that we ask here, or the line of inquiry at Archived, which is, golf changing. Can you share some highlights, not about you, but share some highlights and observations around what parts of the golf world you've been noticing over the sort of the last 3, 4, 5 years?
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, I think when I first started into golf, golf was still very linear. Like this is how it's always been, and this is how it's going to be forever. So, and that was still pre-live as well.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube golf started changing that with the way that the younger audience was connecting with these other YouTubers and thinking that, like, okay, I can go out and have a hit. I can play with my mates. Golf's not actually that serious, because the stigma used to be that it's a very strict, a very stern. You go to a golf club, you have to act a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to play a certain way. And while all that is still true, there's still certain, rules and unwritten rules and etiquette to the game. I think that a lot of people realize that it's actually not as strict and firm as what they thought. There is quite a few golf courses out there, quite a few private golf courses that still are, and they still hold a lot of those values, which is perfectly fine. But I think the golfers that are coming from the YouTube side of things, that have seen some people have fun with it, and they're starting to have fun with it, they're not going to those courses anyway. When Live came about, and we have spoken a lot about this in the past, is that changed everything all over again. It went from being, okay, competition golf has to be a certain way, to now golf is cool. Let's play some music. Let's make it faster. Let's just make it louder. Let's make people have fun. Like let's just make everything more fun. And with that came another wave of YouTube creators as well, who, you could even say Bryson could be one of those creators, because he eventually got into YouTube again because of that. And YouTube videos changed. They went from the old person, I wouldn't say old person, but the old traditional YouTube golf of like the Rick Shields and the Matt Fryers of just, here's me playing this course, to let's see if I can beat this course record from the red tees, or let's see if I can do this with a package set of golf clubs. And they just had all these different fun challenges, which again brought more people into the game. The one part that I don't like about what YouTube golf has played a part in, and I just, it sort of gets me, is that the US Open was just this past weekend. And the amount of people that are yelling out stupid phrases and yelling out, they're booing Wyndham Clark, and they're yelling out certain things after anyone hits a ball, and just trying to chirp and yell at all of these golfers, and not keeping quiet and respecting everything and not being present. That has come from YouTube golf. That has come from TikTok. That has come from Instagram. People are just clip farming at that point, they call it, where if they're just saying something, hoping that it gets filmed to get their little 2 or 3 seconds of, I said that to that guy on it's just, that part's just so annoying. It was very hard to watch.
Yeah. Please, not another mashed potato. I know. Yeah. So Jimmy, let's look forward. What can you share about where you're going over the next 12, 24 months? What would you share?
I have no idea. I have no idea where I'm going. I don't have a plan. I'm just going to keep trying to find all of these cool golf courses and visit them and see what's going on, and just share their story. And it's sort of, because this whole thing is just a bit of a hobby for me. It doesn't matter what I do as long as I like it. And people are going to come, and they're going to come and like what I watch what I make, and enjoy what I do as well. But there's I'm just going to be spending time at some small golf courses. I'm also going to be trying to get to some other cool ones that like some resort style golf courses, and try and do something that's a bit more like a travel golf thing. That's not really like a traditional, like, oh, hey, you can buy this package to go play golf at this place, and how good's that? You get so many rounds. Like a different part of that, like traveling to these small towns and then talking about what that town has to offer and what this golf course has. And because through my Instagram side of things, I have been able to work with a couple of tourism boards recently, which has been really, really cool. And my wife and I love traveling together. And if I could somehow just like do both of those sort of things at the same time, and then I think that she's a bit happy, I'm a bit happy, and it'd be pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, there's a lot of golf to be played out there, Jimmy. It's just
certainly is
short on time and short on money. Are there any? Have you got any over the next sort of 12 months? Have you got any kind of what would resemble bucket list courses, or some favourites that you've got that you're really keen to get to?
Yeah, I've got a massive list. So for those that don't know, my whole thing now is that I'm trying to find Australia's best hidden gem. So I'm trying to go around to all of these small golf courses and find out which one here is actually like Australia's best hidden gem. And I haven't really got a set criteria to what that actually means, but there's so many courses that have been recommended, and so many courses that I want to see, that I've got a really long list on my phone. One of the courses that was quite high up at the top of my list before I even like started doing any of this was Broome Golf Course.
Right.
It's not talked about enough, and because it's like so far out of the way, it's a really cool course that like a lot of caravanners and things like that have been to and seen. But it just seems like a really nice local course in a corner of Australia that not many people will ever get to, that overlooks, or I wouldn't say it overlooks, but it's like across the road from the water, and it just looks like a really nice and fun layout. And one of my mates over in Perth recently went there, and he was just going there for a holiday. And I said, oh, mate, if you're going to Broome, like you have to go to play the golf course and you have to film it. He's got a YouTube channel as well. It's Rowdy Golf. And he's also got Instagram. So he actually filmed it, and he's actually uploaded it to YouTube. And yeah, I'm super jealous of that. So that's like probably number one. I'm just going from my little list here as well. Tevin Golf Club, which I think is around near Byron Bay.
Northern New South Wales. Yeah, Tevin.
Tevin, that's it.
Tevin. Yep. That's the 9-holer, right?
But yep, it's a new boutique little 9-holer. I think that course would just be.
Yeah, I played it about 18 months ago. Totally.
Should I be excited?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tevan is a
Um,
cracker little course.
yeah, Mollymook looks really, really good. I didn't get a chance to get down there. I really want
Oh
to go back and
yes,
play Mount
Mollybook.
Broughton. Neil has been recommended to me quite a few times. That's
Where's
over
that?
Eastern Victoria.
Okay.
Western Victoria. Western Victoria is sort of on the way to South Australia. So that's one there that sort of pops up quite a bit. Millicent Golf Course in the south of South Australia. That pops up all the time. But to me, my absolute, if you had to give me like two bucket list courses,
Mm-hmm.
there was the Coco Keely Islands, which is a small island 3 hours west of Perth. It's actually Australian territory out there. They've got a golf course that goes over the top of the. It's a 9-hole golf course. It goes over the top of their actual like airplane landing strip. Like, what do you want to call that thing? Like, that's one that's like, it's a, not many people know there's a course there, and it's just really laid back, and everyone that lives there just pretty much just turns up on a Sunday afternoon and they just play 9 holes barefoot with a couple of beers.
Yeah, right.
And I really want to go
Yeah.
and experience that and film that. And
Yeah.
then the other one is Lord Howe Island on the other side. Go to the island on the other side of Australia and go to Lord Howe
Yeah.
Island, and everyone knows how amazing that island looks. There's a small golf course there too. So they're probably two of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they sound idyllic, Jimmy. Well, hopefully, as we continue to watch you online, we'll see those pop up at some point. And of course, a reminder to everyone: jump on whatever platform it is, Jimmy Bunkers Golf. You will find him there. But Instagram is a great way to keep across where Jimmy is and what he's filming. Mate, it's been great to catch up. Love what you're doing. Great story. Really appreciate you sharing that, and look forward to chatting again soon. Hey,
Yeah, sounds great. And thank you for having me on. And yeah, hopefully it's not too long before we get to catch up again.
absolutely, Jimmy. Looking forward to it, mate. We'll chat
Sounds
soon.
good.
Thanks.
Thank you.